Hello friend, welcome to my channel Social Share Education. In this video, I will write an autobiography of a raindrop. Life has been full of travel experiences and has taught me to adjust in all forms. Years ago, I was formed high up in the sky. The vapor formed the clouds which were going to give birth to me and a lot of my brothers and sisters. Soon, the sky grew darker and the cloud became heavier. When it could no longer hold its own weight, it burst open. I was born out of the huge white cloud, and as soon as I opened my eyes, I saw myself along with a zillion others rushing downwards towards the magical ground. All of us cried in excitement, and the rush was something that still gives me chills. But along with excitement was the fear of touching the ground and breaking into other droplets or hurting ourselves. We could see our other friends that had already started their journey. Few moments before touching the ground, we all held our breaths and closed our eyes. I was nervous but excited. Before I could realize, I had already landed. I was lucky to have fallen in a pool of other droplets, which is why I didn't break or hurt myself. Soon I found myself flowing with a lot of my friends as a stream to an unknown destination. We made our way wherever we got space. Finally, we all halted as a puddle in a beautiful lotus pond amidst a grand garden. A lot of other droplets were traveling and passing by me or landing in the pond. There was chaos until the downpour stopped. I made friends with a few other raindrops. Just beside me was an old big raindrop. I told him how I was born and what happened after that. He narrated his life stories and how he had traveled to 4 continents before he landed in this pond. He gave me bits of advice on how to save myself from getting destroyed. I was getting bored and afraid also because I was just born. So I preferred looking at the garden and was dazzled by its beauty. I played with my newborn friends. The pond was a bit muddy, but we had fun to our heart's extent. By the time the sun had set, I was very tired and soon fell asleep. The next morning, a man's scream woke me up from my sleep, and I found myself on a pretty lotus which was being carried away by a child. Soon, I realized that the child had plucked the lotus from the garden and the man was running behind to catch the child. But the child was too fast for the man, and I soon found myself in a shop outside a temple. There were a lot of flowers in that shop, and a lady was sprinkling droplets on those flowers. I was already there on the lotus and was amazed by how the last few moments were. I loved my new home full of fragrance, but that home was only for a short while. Soon a beautiful girl came and bought a few roses and lotuses. I got picked from the shop and found myself in a bag with many other droplets and flowers. I was laid in a huge bowl of water droplets with a lot of flowers in front of beautiful statues of gods and goddesses. It was a huge mansion, and a lot of people in heavy clothes and ornaments were praying to the deities. I thought myself to be very lucky as I was in a good company, and unlike a few of my other friends, I was in a good place. I was sad for my friends who found their fate in bad puddles or dirty water. They used to cry about being in those places. I made new friends in the flower bowl, and we talked about how every droplet gets old one day. One old droplet told the new ones how the droplets were sad about being in rivers. He told me that earlier rivers used to be clean and droplets would be happiest in finding themselves in rivers. But today the scenario has changed. Humans are polluting the rivers, and this has led to the contamination of water, thus making all the droplets sad. I wondered at the absurdity of human nature then. Humans can't live without us, still they don't care about wasting us. I felt bad for the community of all droplets, but then this was our fate. I lived in the flower bowl for a few days. But as the days were passing by, the flowers were dying and we were becoming smelly. The family was too busy to realize this, and I again felt bad about how ignorant humans are. After a few days, the old lady of the house took the flowers out and put the water in an old jar. She told the servant to throw us, and all the droplets, including me, got sad thinking about how we'll be one of the dirty waters now. I closed my eyes and waited for the next event, which was going to mark the end of my lavish life. After a while, the lid of the jar opened and we were thrown out. To my astonishment, I didn't land in a gutter. The servant had thrown us in a river. My happiness knew no bounds. I got separated from my jar friends, but was amazed to find myself in what I can call the largest collection of droplets I had ever seen. I traveled far and wide. I traveled through day and night and met a lot of other droplets. I made many new friends and played with fishes also. Fishes are the best friends of droplets. They are as much affected by pollution as we are. I traveled to various beautiful cities, spent nights on the banks of rivers watching the city lights, and engaged in a lot of adventure activities with my crazy friends. Years passed, and as all old droplets head to the sea and then the ocean, I also did. Now my home is the vast ocean. I'm happy to be around all Raindrop friends today. I'm far away from humans, but sometimes I see ships passing by. I've seen ships sink, and I know the mysteries behind the lost ones too. I've seen treasures sink to the seabed and planes crashing down on us. Now I'm old, and I'm just flowing where life takes me. Now that I'm old and retired, I like to spend time watching the rising and setting sun. Here I am, flowing with my friends and happy with the life I've lived as a raindrop. Thank you for your valuable time.